that some days aren't going to be as productive as others, and it has to be okay. And
Are you, Rebecca, real quick,
Yeah.
Are you a firstborn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Me too. I was like, that feels so much like me, where I'm just like, I need to be productive. I need to do all these things. Hello and welcome to episode 285 of the Wisdom and the Tangents podcast. I'm your host, John Mansfield, and if you're new around here, welcome. Come on in, kick off your shoes, get comfy, because today we're talking about some uncomfy things, to be honest. We're talking about when life gets hard and how to persevere as a business owner and continue to show up for your business, because your business still needs you. But ways we talk about a lot with my guest today, Rebecca Hunnicutt. We talk about the busy seasons. We talk about the slow seasons. We talk about divorce. We talk about summer break with your kids at the house. We get interrupted by my kids being at the house on summer break. It's really great conversation. Rebecca Hunnicutt is a lifestyle photographer based in the Portland, Oregon area. She specializes in the joy-filled environmental portraits of children and families. She also teaches photographers how to use composition and color to change and just completely transform ordinary, mundane locations into extraordinary images, which hers are. And I'm going to share some on social media. So definitely go follow us over there. Instagram, wit.pod, and check out Rebecca. I'll have her tagged and everything. Definitely go give her a follow. But this is a really great conversation. I really enjoyed this one. Before we get into my conversation with Rebecca, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of the show today, Pic-Time. Pic-Time is a very aesthetic, beautiful, and professional way to deliver your photos and videos to your clients. It's also, they make it super easy for you to share to other vendors and build those connections, as well as one of my favorite things, the automated sales that they have that you can just plug into different galleries and it does the selling for you. It's so great just getting those little notifications of you made another print sale, or this person ordered a canvas. It's one of my favorite things, to be honest. But yeah, go check out Pic-Time at allheartphoto.com/Pic-Time. And now let's get into my conversation with Rebecca Hunnicutt. Oh yeah. Yeah, that happened to me last year, where I was planning out a mini session day, and I had made all these graphics and pretty much finalized everything except for renting the studio. And then I looked it up, and it was parent weekend, where everyone's coming in, and I was like, no one's going to want to do photos. Everyone's going to be so busy. And I ended up having to move it 2 weeks. And but yeah, it's those little things that you got to kind of take into account whenever you're planning other stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting too, actually. I'm really, sometimes I try not to read the news, whatever. It's all variable with the world, but I'm pretty vigilant, particularly if I have a session coming up, of reading the local news, because I once planned a session and then realized the day before that the marathon was running through where I had planned to be having my session.
Oh no.
And so I was like, not only would that be crazy, you couldn't even we couldn't get there, right? The parking, whatever. And so I really try to pay attention to things like that, like marathons, or there's another park that's really popular here. It's called Cathedral Park, and they have a jazz festival once a year. And I also once planned a session not realizing the jazz festival was, and you can't do a photo shoot. I mean, you could, but not what we were going for. Oh, so yeah, I'm always having to stay up on the local things, because invariably I plan something at the wrong place.
Yeah. Yep, I've done that with festivals in Austin before too. I'm like, oh, didn't know it was Austin City Limits this weekend.
Right?
Cool. We're gonna have to redo everything.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, no, there's like so much planning and so many things. But like I had a question that I
Sure.
thought would be kind of fun, silly, totally off topic for what we're talking about today. But your last name's Honeycutt,
Yeah.
and I was thinking like it reminded me of someone, and I was like, who do I know that's a Honeycutt? And it's BJ Honeycutt, Captain BJ
From Matt.
Honeycutt from MASH, which I like grew up. Well, we didn't have TV for a while, but once we got it, and I was like in high school ish, maybe just before like middle school. It was always like Nick at Night, TV Land. We were watching all the oldies, the like the 50s and the 70s shows, and MASH was one of my favorites. Do you have a favorite from like that era that
First, I
you
thought you
either
were
go
gonna.
back to?
I thought you were gonna ask if I have a favorite Honeycutt, and I was like, whoa.
Do you have a favorite Honeycutt?
I was like, I don't think I should answer that question. um, as you were talking about it, all I could think of was Mr. Ed because I think I was so fascinated by how they made the horse talk, like
Yeah,
the technology or whatever. Obviously it wasn't that high tech or that great, but
right.
even just
Do
the
you know how
concept.
they did that?
Actually, no. Do you?
Okay, I do. Funnily enough, they put peanut butter on his gums, so he was
Oh,
just
so
like trying to lick
they the
off
peanut butter
the
on.
peanut butter, and it made it look like he was talking. But yeah, the talking horse was so good. That was peak. Because I remember thinking the same thing as a kid of just like, how are they making this horse
Right.
do this? This like
Right.
it
Where now,
looks
of
like
course,
he's
it'd probably
talking.
be CGI, right? And that horse would really be talking
Yeah,
with CGI. But yeah, I think those kind of, I don't say tricks, but even like I Dream of Jeannie, right, where she like disappears or whatever. I was always like, how are they doing these things?
hmm
That was always kind of interesting to me. My daughter just yesterday, who's 13, well, she was looking for Friends DVDs, which were not located, but
yeah.
found all of these DVDs and then even VHS apparently was in there from when I was young. And I was obsessed with this Care Bears movie that had Care
Okay.
Bears and Care Bear cousins. And then they were babies. The Care Bears were babies. Anyway, so that was I think I was more into like the Care Bear.
More into yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
Care Bears were huge. I had Lucky, I think, the one with the
Mm,
four leaf clover on its
hmm.
belly,
Yeah.
and we got that at like a garage sale, and I loved that thing, and probably kept it in my bed much
Today. No, I'm just kidding.
today. It's still in there. I've passed it down to the kids, but I did pass down. I got a teddy bear whenever I was 1 day old, and I named him Chocolate because he's brown. And I did pass that down to my oldest whenever he was a day old, and I was like,
Oh, that's
"This is
sweet.
your bear now." And now he's just like, "Girls, y'all can play with it." So it's somewhere around here, getting thrown around and dressed up in doll clothes and all that fun stuff.
No, I
But
think it's really nice when those things can
yeah, yeah, I'm not like a super sentimental like want to hold on to everything from the past, but that kind of thing was just like that is really cool that like I also held on to this bear. um it just was special growing up, and then I had it in, I guess I was what, like 27, 28 when I had my first kid, and I was like, I still have this bear. Here we go.
No,
We
I think
can,
that's really sweet. Are some of
yeah.
your cameras behind you like vintage or from your family?
Let's see. No. Oh, this one. This little brownie. Or that's not a brownie. I think that's an Ansco.
Okay.
But yeah, that little box camera. It was. I don't think it's like a special one. My grandmother gave it to me whenever like years after I started the photography business, and she was like, "Hey, just I don't know if you know, but we have a chest full of old cameras in the attic. If you want to take a look at any of them," I was like, "Yes, 100% I do." So that was one of them, and then I have like a little brownie camera, but it takes what is it, 620 film, and it's just really hard to find that and super expensive to develop. So, but
Sure.
yeah, this one is like 90 something years old at this point. It was made in the 90s, or it was made in the 90s. It was made in the 30s,
Yeah.
and it's still cool. I'll bring it to weddings and just
Oh,
shoot
that's
a
fun.
roll, and it looks really old.
Yeah.
Just the way that the glass is like kind of all scuffed, and there's probably some sort of mold or something that has grown in there over the years. But yeah, kind of fun.
Yeah. I have a couple. Well, I have one camera that was my grandmother's, and it it was like whatever a travel camera would have been back then. So it actually gets really small, and then you can like
Okay, like
pull
that
out
accordion
things.
type.
Yeah, and I'm like looking, where is it? It's funny because sometimes when my dad comes to visit, he rearranges my office and he moves
Fun.
he thinks all the cameras should be together. And so I'll sit down in here and all the cameras from the bookshelves have moved to one shelf like they need to be friends. I don't know. And so
Is it your dad, or is this just like another version of Toy Story where you leave the
I
room
mean,
and the
that
cameras
would
are
be
just
hilarious if the cameras were alive, but it was my dad. I asked him once though, and it had been like 4 months since he'd done it before I noticed,
oh
which is
wow.
not a good sign of the amount of dusting that happens in my house.
Uh-huh.
Um, but he'd even like he'd opened it and set it like so they were all displayed. There's even one that's a Christmas ornament camera. Like they were all together. So it's really funny though that
That's
he
funny.
put them all together again.
That's
But I've
great.
never actually shot. I've never thought about actually putting a roll of film through it and seeing what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. You should just test
That
it
could be a
out.
fun
Test it out with some
experiment.
cheap film.
Yeah.
I use like Portrait 800 to test out a camera once, and then it all came back black, and I was like, that was a really expensive test. I needed
Yeah.
to not do that.
Yeah. No, that's true. I don't
Yeah.
even know what it takes. I'd have to look.
Yeah.
But
But
that could be fun.
okay.
Summer
That would
experiment.
be yes. Oh yeah. I want to do something like that where I'm just like either like a like one of those like wheel generator things where like spin the wheel and it lands on something, or like get a D20 die and like roll for whatever camera to use. I want to start doing like a series of that. I was like, that would be kind of fun over the summer to like roll for whatever camera, roll for the
Yeah, or
type of
lens or something.
film, and yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
might be something fun.
Where
But
I had previously, when my kids were much younger, done a color project similar to what you're seeing now. Like I think on people on Instagram are doing these color, like themed color projects. You've probably seen.
yes, uh huh,
Um, but so I did that years ago, years and years and years ago. But it was like a personal project. But we would do it for a month at a time. And so like 1 month was red, 1 month was blue, whatever. Um, and this is when we lived in Asia. So some months were much easier than others. Um, like for example, orange was really hard, so I had to go like buy some oranges and do some pictures at home because I was just really struggling.
right.
Um, but anyway, so I'm taking them to New York. We go next week, and now they're older, right? They have their phones and whatnot. So we are doing a color project on our trip. But so it
Oh,
turned
that'll be
into this
fun.
very elaborate phone wheel of colors, and my 15-year-old assigning colors to us for each day with this random generated color wheel. So kind of what you're
Love
talking
it.
about, but yeah, so that's how we got assigned our colors for
Oh,
each
that'll be
day of our
fun.
trip. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Ooh,
Yeah.
I have a trip to the Netherlands coming up next week,
Ooh,
or next week,
next week.
next month. It's coming up very quickly, and that would be a fun something to do. Just look for different colors. Just seeing like all the houses there, they all look so colorful. So I don't think that'll be too difficult to find
Yeah.
a rainbow of colors there.
Yeah. So you're
Um,
going to Amsterdam?
yes, yeah. For a little bit, we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna travel down to like Leiden and The Hague, and Utrecht, and check out a couple cities around there and just see what Netherlands life is like.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
What's
I
it
had a
like
very
being a
short,
local Dutch?
yeah, I had a very short 24 hours there once, and um, just a couple years ago. But yeah, it's very inspirational photography wise. So you
Yeah,
cannot take all your
everything that
cameras
I've
with you,
seen.
John.
I cannot. No, I would have to have like one checked
Yeah.
bag for all of my cameras,
Yeah. You
and
won't
then they
have to
would just
just
be
choose.
bouncing around on each other. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will have to figure out which ones to take and carry on with me on the plane. Uh, but yeah, no. Well, yay, we have trips coming up. Those will be fun. I do want to talk about. I know we had talked about kind of getting into like personal challenges and difficulties in life and how to keep going as a business owner. I know for me, like whenever I've had like extra stress or you know we talked about summer with the kids home and trying to get work done.
Yeah.
um that's kind of like a minimal personal
Sure.
challenge, but like it's really hard for me to want to show up and to get up, like kind of like what we talked about before we started recording with like the computers just being like not today, we're just gonna
Yep.
rainbow wheel of death and you don't get to work today sort of thing. And like how can we like overcome those personal challenges or overcome uh, that feeling of I don't want to show up when personal
Sure.
challenges arise.
It's a really interesting question. It's something I've been thinking a lot about, also just talking with some local photographers about too. I know at different points in my life, like when I got divorced, I was very motivated within my business, right? Because I was
Mm-hmm.
going from basically 100% stay at home mom who was a retired nurse practitioner. I'm very young to be retired, but to then needing to have a full time photography business that's also like multifaceted, right? Because I'm like, I need to
Yeah.
be pulling in like a whole income. Um, so I was very motivated for a couple of years. And it's interesting because I am about like at a 4 year space now where I'm, I don't want to say less motivated. I'm technically motivated in my brain.
Uh-huh.
But am feeling, I think, a little bit of that. I don't know if slump's really the right word, but there's definitely a feeling of it's feeling a little harder to get motivated. And I was talking with a close friend recently, like I said, and I think there are a couple of things. I do think the world in general is a little bit harder right now, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
has to be part of just being a little okay with it's okay for things to feel harder and to just not stress yourself out about it. Um, I've spent a lot of time trying to just accept that some days aren't going to be as productive as others, and it has to be okay. And I,
Are you, Rebecca, real quick, are
yeah,
you a firstborn?
yeah.
Okay.
In
Yep.
Utah.
Nope. Me too. I was like, that feels so much like me, where I'm just like, I need to be productive. I need to do all these things. And if it doesn't happen, if I have an off day, if I have, a day where, oh man, last week I forgot to make coffee in the morning. I don't know what happened. Like that is usually the first thing I do is get up and make coffee, but it was like 11:30 and I was like, why am I so tired? I just feel like going back to bed. And then I realized I hadn't had coffee. But like those days where I have a to-do list and I get like 1 out of 7 checked off, I feel terrible.
Yeah. You know, so I've really tried to, with some help from friends, to be honest, be a little kinder to myself to know that I will
Mm-hmm.
have days where I'm not productive, but 3 days later, I'll probably have a day where I'm really productive and makes up for it. And to not dwell on the fact that on a particular day, I'm just not feeling it. I try to remind myself to, it's funny, these are things I tell my kids a lot as they're older and doing homework and projects, right? Like, and this happened last night as an example. At 10:45, I was in Squarespace trying to do something, which was not smart because I deleted an entire page from my
Oh no.
website and which was fine. It was in drafts and I got it back quickly. But as I was doing it, I said, I should not be doing this right now. It's too late. Right. And so
Mm-hmm.
just reminding myself that, of course, people say done is better than perfect, progress over perfection. I believe in all those things, but also be smart, right? If you're not in it
Yeah.
and you're going to spend 6 hours doing something that tomorrow might take you 20 minutes, just don't do it. So
Yep.
I think,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And so I think just knowing and just reminding yourself, it's okay. Today's a day where it's not going to happen. What can I do personally that at least still feels like, I moved the needle in some direction, but it just wasn't in work. And that has to be okay. And it's interesting too, after my divorce and just the way my custody schedule worked out, I realized it took years too to realize what, like, when during the week I am actually able to be more productive. And so this is funny because I was working with ChatGPT because I'm trying to be productive. And I was trying to
Yeah.
come up with a schedule for myself for each day. And because my business has like three different arms, I tend to, during my school season, I'm really into school and I don't do anything for my education business, right? And then January, February, March, I can do a lot in my education business. And then, so it kind of goes through cycles, but I was wanting myself to actually stay within all three arms all the time so that I don't drop the
Mm-hmm.
ball and things. And anyway, so ChatGPT was working on this schedule for me. And it was like on Fridays, you can just, catch up on a few things and then take the rest of the day off. And I was reading it and realized, actually, I'm really productive on Fridays. And so, which I think is the opposite of many people, right? They've worked all week, Friday, they're tired. But
Right.
for me, my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are heavy with kid drop off, kid pickup. I've been doing the homework with them at night. The days are short because of the drop up and pickup times. And so I was like, oh, those days maybe are just email and house stuff. And then Thursday and Friday, I can work really hard, which isn't a typical schedule. But once I realized it,
Right.
I was like, oh, that's okay. That works for me. I'm acknowledging that this is what works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think kind of some of that, just giving yourself grace and then even just leaning into like, you know, what you can do when you don't have energy and then the things that you do when you have energy. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is, I mean, that's huge about like figuring out a schedule that works for you. And how, as parents, week to week, it is so different. I mean, like our spring was taken up with Little League. It was
yeah.
just practices and games, and they were having games. My oldest is 11, and like they were doing games that started at 7:30 at night. And we weren't getting home until 10, which he's usually already asleep. And we
Yeah.
were just like, these nights were super late, and then we were still waking up early to get everyone to school, and
Yeah.
then I was tired and not productive. So like we see how week to week it is so different. And just like taking that time to really look at your schedule and be like, ooh, Monday through Wednesday, those are not going to be my most productive days
Yeah.
for this season.
Yeah.
So heavy on the back end of the week, and instead of just trying to force through with like, well, this is how I should be doing this much work every single day, or staying up late, like you said, whenever you were talking about that, of just like something that takes like 6 hours that would take 20 minutes. I remember in the early years staying up till like 2, 3 in the morning editing photos, and where I would just be editing and then just like I would doze off and then wake up and be like, oh, I don't like this edit at all. And then I
Right.
have to go back through the whole scene. And then in the morning, I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't like any of this. I
Yeah.
don't even know what I was doing last night.
Right.
My eyes were not working correctly
Yeah.
because I was so tired. And then I had to redo everything anyway. And did it quicker than I did the night before,
Yep.
because I was alert.
Yeah. So I
uh,
think, there are a lot of those places, right, where you can just be like,
mm-hmm.
it really is about working smarter, to be honest.
It really is.
Working smarter and it just being okay to know it's not happening today and it's okay. I mean, lucky for us, you know, nothing is life or death really in our business. So it has to be okay. And everyone
Yeah.
we work with are humans, they all
Mm-hmm.
understand. Like last week, I think every email I sent was like, sorry, I'm just getting back to you. The last week of school was crazy. And they're all like, no kidding, same here. Like
Yeah, totally get
everyone
it. I
is
understand.
human and
Yeah.
parent. Yeah. So I think just
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging it, not trying to be a superhuman. Another thing I
Yeah.
actually did, and I've been redoing it again this year, is looking at which tasks I actually enjoy in my business and which ones I don't. So, for example, I've been rewriting blog posts. It's going to sound silly, but I don't know why I actually enjoy it.
Okay,
And
I was gonna ask if this was something you enjoy or not.
yeah, I actually do enjoy it. I think the reason I enjoy it is because there's an end to it. Like, I finished this one blog post and I published it. So I think it has that
Mm-hmm.
finite completion aspect, which makes me feel good. A little
It
dopamine
feels
hit.
so good to finish something and just be like publish or
Right.
update or whatever, and
Because
just like I'm
if
done
your
with
to-do
this.
list
Okay,
says email, you're like, it's never done. Your email's never
that's
going to be
never
done.
no,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
And
While I was
so,
writing those first 5, I got another 7 that came in, and yeah,
yeah, which I honestly, it's like, I think how I missed your email yesterday because I think 45 other emails came in before I sat down. So it was literally just not in the box.
yep.
And I didn't even get that far, which is so silly. But so, yeah, so looking at what brings me joy, what do I actually enjoy and what don't I enjoy? And then can you take those things that you just really don't enjoy doing and delegate them to someone else? So you're focusing more on the things that feel good, move the needle, you feel productive doing them, perhaps actually bring money in and can delegate the other things that you just don't like doing. Because there's
Yeah,
nothing worse than sitting there doing something you really don't like doing.
it's really terrible because you don't feel good doing it, and then whenever you're finished with it, you're like,
Right.
it
You
was
still don't feel
fine
good.
because I didn't like doing it, so I don't really like how it turned out. Which is me rewriting blogs.
Oh, we can trade
But
some tasks.
yes, yeah, I can delegate those out to you. But like that's the thing too, is like whenever you delegate to someone else, you're usually delegating to someone who that is the task that they enjoy. They do love writing blog posts. They do love editing photos. They do love keeping up with an inbox and
Yeah.
organizing it into subfolders for you and all that kind of stuff. Like that is the stuff that really sparks them, that they're just like, boom, boom, boom. I can do this all day. And like, I think especially like for me, firstborn, recovering perfectionist, it was really hard to delegate at first because I wanted to do everything. And
Mm.
I wanted to be, I'm a self made entrepreneur and I do all of these things in my business. And it also gave me like an excuse whenever I was completely tired or and I'm just like, well, I'm so tired because I've been doing all the things, and I can't say like, oh well, I did delegate these other things to people, so I had a break. Um, but once I started delegating, it was like, ooh, what else do I not enjoy 100% that I
Yeah.
can give to someone else who does enjoy this 100%, or at least closer to
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. And I think, I would say I leaned into figuring out some of the delegating pretty early in growing my business, just knowing that I have a personal capacity, right? Like we are just one
Mm-hmm.
person. You are one person, I'm one person. So I know I have a capacity. And I didn't want to get to the point of it being urgent that I need help, right? And then it becomes hard to get help. So I started
Right.
implementing some methods to have assistance and help kind of on the front end. So it didn't become, yeah, an emergency.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't want to get to the emergency part because
No.
then it's like, I've got to find someone and you don't have time to onboard and
Yeah.
get all that together, go through the little bugs and quirks and stuff of
Yeah.
delegating. And it is, yeah, no, that is really smart to get that on the front end. When you have a little bit more time, when you have a little bit more in the bank, that you can be like, okay, I can afford to do this right now
Yeah.
in multiple aspects, and you're not just like, I don't have anything to pay anyone with, and I don't have the time to do everything that I need.
Yeah. And I actually last year in the spring, when I was like assessing how my prior school season had gone and also which things do I dislike doing in my school business.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing them in the fall, I actually made Loom videos of so many different tasks that I do within my school business. and was
Amazing.
setting up SOPs, then
Yep.
knowing that my assistant who comes on in the fall, I just sent her the links and she could watch the video. And when I made the Loom video, I took the transcript from Loom, put it in ChatGPT, and had them summarize it into like a step by step. Some learners don't want to watch videos.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so then I had
This
the
is a
written step
6-minute video. What do you think? I'm just made of time.
right on one task. And so, yeah, so I made videos, took the transcripts, whatever. So that's all in Airtable. And then when I need her to do something, I don't then have to make her video. It's already done. So that's kind of my like own insurance policy I do when I'm not busy is make little SOPs for myself.
Yeah, that is great. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Loom, like it is so easy to just record yourself doing something, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That is another thing that
Yeah.
I had trouble with starting that, because I had so many people telling me like just download Loom, record yourself doing the process, and then like that's going to be the training. I was like, yeah, but I need this to be like aesthetically pleasing, and I need this to be like, what if I say or if I'm like, ooh, actually let me backtrack this.
Right.
It doesn't need to be perfect at first. You can always come back and finish that, or once they're proficient, you can have them record that Loom video for SOPs. Real quick,
Yeah.
I have a
Oh,
little
sure.
one at my door
You're
asking
okay.
for something. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's okay.
Your client's experience extends far past the photo shoot and into the photo delivery service. Let's stop using boring old delivery services and clunky portfolio pages where you need to send like a 15-step direction page on how to even download the photos. Enter Pic-Time. Pic-Time is a gorgeous photo delivery service that is so customizable. You can incorporate your brand colors and logo. You can customize how it looks for your clients, all while monitoring how they can download photos, what watermarks you have on there, and a bunch of security for their privacy, and so people aren't just downloading photos here and there. And the best part, which quite literally pays for itself, is the print shop. They have a lot of options with really high quality printers all across the states. Pic-Time also creates sales automations for just about every holiday, which you can easily set up and apply to galleries in minutes, making you extra money and serving your clients with high quality printed artwork. Because we don't want these photos dying on a computer somewhere. Right now, you can get your first month absolutely free by going to allheartphoto.com/pictime. That's allheartphoto.com/PICTIME and get 1 month free. Now, back to the show.
Okay, we're back.
Summer break.
Yes.
This podcast
Yeah.
was brought to you by Summer Vacation.
Summer vacation. Yeah. We'll just insert the ad break right there.
Seriously. I was just kind of laughing as you were talking because I tried making an SOP for myself that still didn't work last year. Occasionally I have something I have to do in like an ordering software with Rose that's complicated. I don't know why it's so complicated, but it is. And because I do it once a year, also my brain, cannot remember. So I made a video for myself last year, followed the video this year, and it was still wrong. So then I had to call their customer service desk. I think I have 7 videos of me because I was trying to make a new video to
Right.
still do it right. Anyway, it still might have been a failure. But
You're like version 6.
yeah, like
Also
it's like I'm
didn't work.
really trying to set myself up for success next year, that I don't make this a 7-hour project that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But occasionally things just don't work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we even used Loom for one of my daughter's school projects. So yeah, it was
There
great.
you go. Yeah. I've used Loom in a lot of different ways, like even for personal stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I could just record that real quick. And And it's great. Not a sponsor, by the way, but we both love Loom. I'll see if I can get an affiliate or something. We'll throw that in that ad break when when my youngest was asking if she could have.
I know. I've even when I have like a technical problem, you know, on software or whatever, instead of trying to explain it to their help desk or their ticket that I'm submitting, I'll just record a video of what my problem is, and it's so much easier. And I like it too because when I record. Like if you record a video, the first time someone watches it, you get a little notice. And so I know that whoever I sent it to watched the video.
Already seen
so
it.
It makes me feel good.
Like they watched it. They're starting on this. Okay, cool.
Yeah. They are paying attention to my problem. I even found for myself when I really increased my prices a couple of years ago, you know, I think everyone experiences this. It's hard to say the prices out loud, right? Like you don't want to tell people the number sounds big or scary or whatever. And so I don't do this anymore, but I was making one video per inquiry at the time, going through my proposal, saying the prices. It was easier for me to say it like to Loom than a person's face. And then the more I did it, it like got rid of that feeling of it being hard to say. So that was kind of like there's a psychology word for it that I can't think of right now, but like a desensitization or something.
Yeah, it's like you've already created like that neuro pathway of like, I know what's coming next. I don't have to worry about stumbling over my words. I've said this 12 times already to different videos. I can say it live.
Yeah. And it really did. It really helped, to be honest.
Yeah. That's great. That's a nice little trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like rehearsing a speech in the mirror kind of thing.
Basically. Yeah.
No, that's great. And like as we're going through personal challenges and stuff, it's really hard for us to, or at least me personally, I guess I can't really speak for everyone else. But it's sometimes hard to care for ourselves as we are caring for business. Sure. Like you said earlier, like after your divorce, you like went straight into I got to make this business work. And I had a similar thing of when we had our youngest, and my wife had a pretty rough pregnancy, and like we took an extended paternity or maternity leave, and I was just like, I need to make this job fit all of our bills. And we also have 3 kids now. And like there was so much like writing on it that I really like dove in deep, but I personally was not doing well, and like my health went down. Do you have any insight of just like how we can still care for ourselves when we're caring for our business?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think there are 3 things that come to mind that I want to bring up, but I will say I'm no expert. I need to exercise more, as many adults do. So I can't say I'm doing all the things, but particularly when it was really hard for me and at the beginning, there were 3 things that I did. So one is I actually had it was more of like a business mastermind than like a one-on-one coaching situation. But that just helped me to stay accountable, someone I could ask questions of. And then when I was doubting myself, someone was there giving me this extra confidence that, for one, had nothing to do with my personal life, right? And really did believe in me. So that actually was really beneficial for me in moving forward and making progress, just having that extra confidence of someone who believed in me. I also am a proponent of therapy if it's needed, like whether that's kind of like business therapy, personal therapy, but just having that extra resource, I think is invaluable. And luckily a lot of insurance, covers it. And the third thing I actually did was I'd started acupuncture, and it's interesting because I had started it actually originally back when, this is like early COVID days, I think, when we got like our second shot, and it locked up my shoulder. And so I would have gone to see any modality of person that could have helped me. I couldn't move my arm, and it was so terrible. But I proceeded to actually stay with it for a while because it was a way to, not only for the physical aspects of it. And so like I go to her now, particularly in my heavy shooting times, right? Because I'm like, my shoulder hurts, my wrist hurts, my arm hurts.
Yep.
So she helps me from the physical sense and the physical parts of photography that are hard. But, to lay on an acupuncture table for an hour when you can't be on your phone and you can't check your email and you can't even write down an idea that you have, which that is sometimes hard. Because I want to be like, hey Siri, I have an idea. Can you record this on my phone? But just having that dedicated time to, just rest and come down, I think can really make a difference. And that's actually sometimes covered by insurance too. So those were some things that I really did to help myself, I guess, through those hard times.
No, that is really good. I have done acupuncture a few times and I was surprised. Like I'm not afraid of needles and getting like shots and stuff, but I don't like them. They're not my favorite. I don't want 100 of them stuck in me at once. And finding out that they are much smaller, they're tiny, tiny, like the size of a hair or something. Yeah. Like I could barely feel anything unless I was moving around. Which I'm very restless whenever I lay there. So I would move and I'm like, oh, yep, forgot I had one in my knee. Okay, I need to stop moving. But yeah, it was very relaxing eventually to just lay there in my thoughts. I have a regular massage therapist now. Same thing during heavy season of just like, I need to work on my shoulders. I also like tore something on my shoulder in high school playing baseball. So that is not great. And that's my main camera arm too. So yeah, being there, like I do, what is it called? Craniosacral, where I am just laying flat. And then she's just like, putting her arm, like hand, like one under my hip, one on top, and it's just like slowly moving and like aligning my spine and all the things. And like, I just have to lay there very still. And during that, I'm like, it's really hard for me to stop talking, but like after probably like the first 10 minutes getting in there on the massage table, I'm like, I should probably stop asking about your family and what you were doing. But like, it is very interesting for someone who is just like constantly going and going to have to sit there and have to not have pen and paper, like you were saying, or jump on my phone and jump something into the notes app. But just like sit there with thoughts or just not. And, she's got one of those like, what are they called? The drop ceiling with like the white square foam tile things. And I just see faces and there's like a lion in the corner that I always like, I will just focus on. John, this. Like, it kind of looks like a lion. I know I got to close my eyes, but I'm slowly getting there. Maybe after a couple of years of going, I will finally get to the closing my eyes part of a massage. But no, those are all really great ways to care for yourself. And to like take that intentional time to put that on your schedule. I have to schedule these out a month in advance because I will get busy and then I'll just be like, well, I don't have time to get a massage. Yep. I don't have time to relax. So putting it on the calendar too, like it's a photo shoot or like it's a meeting, and just being like, okay, this is designated time. No one else can take this.
Yeah, I had one other thing, which I haven't personally done a good job of this, but I know I recommended it to another photographer friend, and she said it really helped her, was almost putting a block of time on your schedule that's like a personal CEO day. So it's not like, it could be that you're going to get coffee with a friend, but really it was meant to be more of like, I need a doctor's appointment for this. The kids need, to go to the eye doctor, whatever, all those little things, your finances, like all those things that need to happen, but kind of don't happen. And then we do it haphazardly. Instead, like she started putting just a block, I think every 2 weeks on her calendar that's like focusing on that like personal type family business stuff. And then she's like, oh, then I just know every other Friday from 9 to 11, that's when I make appointments. That's when I do all that kind of stuff. And that's just helped her keep on top of that kind of stuff. And I think that can be good too.
That is good. Because there's also like those things that they just kind of move from day to day to-do lists that are just kind of like, they're like number 8 and 9 and they never really get done, but it's like, this would be good to get done at some point. And then having those days, I was like, I'm not going to get in my inbox. I'm not going to get in regular work. This is for the other stuff.
Yeah. I think we had order my middle schoolers. We had order her yearbook on our to-do list, I think for like 8 weeks, which is dumb.
Yep.
Just order the yearbook.
It's the things that take 30 seconds that are just like, I don't know. I have to like have my credit card out by me and like plug in a number and I have to find the link again and the piece of paper with the QR and yeah. Oh man. So
so just giving yourself like time, like dedicated time to take care of all that stuff you have to do. I mean, and it's not hard, but you just need to do it and just give yourself time. Right. So then on Tuesday morning, you're not like, oh, who was I supposed to call? You just know you're doing it Friday.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah. Ooh, I need to start doing that.
Me too.
I will take that advice. But yeah, awesome. Well, Rebecca, this has been really great. I have loved this conversation. Before we get into like where people can connect with you online and all of that, to maybe learn a little bit more, I love to talk about what we're loving this week, and it can be literally anything: book, TV show, movie, a new food, whatever.
Sure.
What are you loving this week?
So I have 2 things to share. So one is a show on Netflix. It's called The Law According to Lydia Poet. And
I haven't even seen this. Okay.
Yeah. So I love it as a photographer because I find just how it was shot, the colors, the tones are all very interesting. Some people I think could be turned off because it's originally in Italian and then dubbed into English, but it didn't bother me. So sometimes that bothers me. It did not bother me. But I don't know. I just love the colors and the clothes, and it's just different. So that's a kind of a cool show. I think there's 3 seasons. And then the other thing I was going to say is my kids, I will say my younger one, we spent a lot of time getting her to love reading. It took a long time. A lot of education challenges. But now my kids will be like, Mom, can we all just sit in the living room and read? And it's so fun. Like we all just read our own book laying on the couch together. And since school's ended, we've been doing that a lot. So it's just kind of really fun. Great. And the bonus is you can put on face masks while you do it too.
Ooh, yeah.
We've all got a face mask on and we're reading.
I love it.
It's really fun. Highly recommend.
That's great. Okay, we may do that this afternoon because we're headed to the library. We reserved a few books, so that'd be a fun one. And we have like a whole pack of these like matcha green whatever they're called, the under eye masks. And that'd be great. We can all just chill and
it's really nice,
Yeah, make some popcorn, read a book. Ask. Okay, cool. Well, that's what our evening is going to be tonight. Love that.
Take a selfie.
Yes, I will. Let's see. I'm loving a new show. It's on BritBox is the only way to watch it right now. But The Other Bennett Sister, and it is like Pride and Prejudice adjacent. So there's like Elizabeth Bennet and Lydia and like everyone there, and then there's Mary, and she was the one who didn't get married in Pride and Prejudice. Everyone else got married at some point. So this follows, it kind of picks up at the end of like kind of some of the last events that happened in Pride and Prejudice, and then it like follows Mary, and it's very, very interesting. She's an interesting kind of person, and just like there's one thing, like one scene at a dinner party that my wife and I will just, if there's like a quiet moment or something, we will just look at each other and be like, 4 legs cannot vomit. And that'll make sense whenever you watch, I think it's like episode 3 or something. It's like dude talking about horses. And like those were the things. You started with 4 legs and then went to cannot vomit. That was the second thing to tell her about horses. But yeah, it's really funny. And it's that good like period piece, similar to, Pride and Prejudice and
Sure.
Bridgerton and all that kind of
I
stuff.
am running out of TV as we approach summer.
Yeah, that's a good one. Get a BritBox subscription or VPN to trick them. But yeah, it's a good one. But yeah. Okay. Well, Rebecca, where can people find you? Where can they connect online?
Yeah, so I do have 2 Instagrams, which can sometimes be confusing. But from a photographer perspective, it's Rebecca Hunnicutt Education, with periods in between. And it's not honey like you eat, HONEY. It's HUNNICUTT. And that's where I share, kind of all my education type related content to people. And they can find me there or at my website and send me a note and we can chat. I love talking with photographers, obviously. I have tips and advice for everyone.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that is always the best. I love chatting about photography and just
this was super fun.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you so much for being on the show. This was a blast.
Yeah, no, it was great. Thanks so much for having me.
Rebecca, that was so much fun talking. I really enjoyed our conversation, and listeners, I hope you enjoyed our conversation too. Really got a lot out of that for how to just like push through in the busy, in the hard seasons, and just navigating life. Life throws lemons at you. Nope, life throws curveballs. When life throws you lemons, swing at the curveball. That's what I always say. But I have that tattooed on a pillow somewhere. Thanks for listening to the show. As always, you can check out all the show notes at podcast.allheartphoto.com. Definitely go check out Rebecca on Instagram. Go give her a follow. She'll be tagged in all of our social media posts this week. And if you're not part of the Patreon community, join the Wit Friends over there. You get ad-free episodes. You get the live recordings to see all the chaos going on behind the scenes as my kids are getting into eggs and doing all sorts of things while I'm recording. And I share a lot of audits for social media, portfolios, website. I do group coaching all over there for the low price of around a cup of coffee a month. Maybe an expensive cup of coffee, but like a really good cup of coffee every month. So grab your really good cup of coffee and join us over there with the Wit Friends on Patreon/WitPod. It'll be in the show notes for you too. Until next time, keep creating and keep making the world a better place. See you guys. Bye, y'all.